Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. Today's main story has a prequel of sorts, so let's begin with that post before we move on to the main story today. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user ThrowAwayTheChicken9. Am I the a-hole for making a recipe for a competition even though my sister-in-law asked me not to? Almost every holiday, my family has a cooking competition. The grandfathers and grandmothers take turns picking a dish and everyone who wants to compete brings their own variation. The top 3 winners usually get a cash prize. For New Year's this year, my grandfather, on my dad's side, chose chicken wing dip. Though he did say that we didn't have to use chicken as our meat source as long as we used all the other basic ingredients for chicken wing dip. We've done chicken wing dip before and he wanted to mix it up. He also said to make sure it was spicy enough for his old taste buds to feel. Lol. On the issue, I, female 26, decided I was going to make chicken wing dip ragoons and sent a message in the group chat I share with the other women in my family, wives, sisters, cousins, etc. It's used mostly for vacation plans, but we sometimes use it casually. I talked about things I was going to add and about the smoked salmon dip my wife, female 29, was going to bring. Privately, my sister-in-law Jessica messaged me and told me I couldn't make ragoons because she was planning to make chicken wing dumplings. She told me, and I quote, "The dishes are too similar and it'll ruin both of our chances to win if you bring them. You won last New Year's, so it's time to give someone else a shot." I told her that I would enjoy the competition and we should see which the family preferred. I was honestly just trying to be playful, but she stopped responding after that. I'd tried to ask her if she still had a problem with me bringing my dish, but she left all my messages unread. I reached out 3 times before the party, to no response. When the New Year's party happened yesterday, I brought my ragoons. Jessica didn't bring anything and my wife brought her dip. I tried talking to Jessica, but she just walked off, so I didn't pursue her further. After the winners were announced, I won 5th place and my wife won 1st. My brother Liam pulled me to the side and told me it was rude to bully Jessica out of bringing a dish. Liam is Jessica's husband and my older brother. I tried to show him our texts and explain, but he ignored my phone completely and told me to just apologize and keep the peace. I will admit I was rude to him and called Jessica a brat. I refused to apologize and now he's mad at me too. Am I the a-hole? Okay, all I'm gonna say about that is no, I don't think OP was the a-hole, but that post was to set the stage. So now, let's move on to the main story of the video. This post is from the subreddit entitled Parents and of course by the same OP. My sister-in-law is stealing from me and using her baby as an excuse. Hello again Reddit, I didn't think I'd be back, but it's been a little over a year since my last post and here I am. My sister-in-law Jessica, 29 female, and her husband, my brother Liam, 32 male, are staying with me, 27 female, and my wife, 30 female. Due to foundation trouble at their own home. Simply put, she's been an absolute nightmare when it comes to taking things that aren't hers and brushing them off because she needs them due to her baby, my nephew Liam Jr., male 3 months. I'll just list the worst of it, but do note, this is a very condensed list. 1. She took my expensive hair products made specifically for thick hair because, and I quote, "Liam Jr. can't handle strong scents and yours are just gentler on his nose." She used an entire 16-ounce bottle of conditioner in 3 days. 2. I caught her trying to take the food I ordered for everyone into her room after it was delivered. I ordered almost 6 full meals to dish out for the entire house and she was just holding this large paper bag in her room. She told me she was just sorting through it to find her food, but she was sitting down with chopsticks and the door was closed, so I call BS. 3. She took my gift card stash from my shelf in the kitchen and spent nearly $75 on random BS because she claimed she wanted to make the room more comfortable for Liam Jr. I use those gift cards when I go shopping or as presents for sudden events. She knows this and still took 6 to 8 gift cards out with her. 4. all of my snacks. My pantry has a shelf labeled specifically for me due to a mild food allergy that has all the snacks that I bought and consume. I keep seeing her walking back and forth past my room with my snacks. If I or my wife try to confront her, she cries that she's breastfeeding and she needs the energy. Then she'll get my brother to chew me out. For the record, we do have a communal snack bin, but she won't touch the snacks in there. It's been non-stop for the last 3 weeks and I'm so effing done with her. She's taken my hair ties, my shirts from the laundry, my sleep bonnets, and my lipstick. She even took a bottle of my apple cider gummies, which I know she doesn't like because she tried them before. I feel like she's doing it just to spite me or to assert herself, but I'm seriously considering kicking her out. Well, Opie, if I was in your situation, I would sit my brother and his wife down and remind them that they are guests, that you are doing them a favor of them staying with you while their home gets taken care of. If they can't behave properly and stop stealing, then they'll need to find another place. And I would say, consider this conversation the nicest one we're going to have. This is strike 1 and 2.5. The next boundary you cross will be leaving my home through the door while I shut it behind you. Now, based on your previous post and this one, I'm sure that the entitledness is going to show right away and they're going to start guilt-tripping you that it's because of the baby or whatever. You know what? They're all excuses. You just tell them, I don't care. You either respect my house or you're out. Then they're probably going to get other family members involved. And if any of those family members come after you, I would tell them, well, then you house them. End a conversation. OP, people are gonna take advantage of you as long as you let them. Stop letting them. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Parkesk says, sit her and your enabling brother down and give them one warning. Okay, my stuff, my house, my rules. Take my stuff again and you're all out of here. Argue once, Liam, and you're gone. You want to stay? Respect our things. That's the end of this discussion. And Opie responds, I had a similar conversation to your suggestion and he told me he'd talk to her. She stopped stealing for maybe 2 days, then was back at it. But I think a final warning is in order. I've just been so damn hesitant because of Liam Jr. Snossage Time says, grow a spine. Kick him out. You've given them plenty of warnings. There's so many programs that will help if they are truly struggling money-wise. Local churches, thrift shops, and groups. Food banks if they're starving. There's so many resources. If they can't find or think of any, then Google it. Google it all. Lady of Size says they need to get kicked out and it has to be done before you have to go through a legal official procedure. In other words, now. And in the meantime, you need to lock everything up. Also, where the F is your brother in all of this? And Opie responds, he's been working as many hours as his boss will give him. Their savings were already drained due to a motor accident that killed their car 6 months ago. The house repairs drained a lot of what was left in savings. Opie's edit. Just wanted to clarify that Jessica used my shampoo on herself, not Liam Jr., because the smell was, I guess, irritating him. I'm also just going to state the only reason I'm letting these two stay is because of Liam Jr. My brother can't afford housing close to his job, and if I kick him out, Liam Jr.'s housing would be up in the air. His commute is already 45 to 60 minutes each way, and none of our relatives that are willing to let him stay live any closer. Secondly, please do not insult my wife in the comments. She was recently promoted and isn't home often, but I assure you she sticks up for me when she's home. She has told me she's willing to let them stay for Liam Jr., but she has shown that she's upset by Jessica stealing. I'm sorry I didn't say that before. Okay, so the community is in between last chance and kick him out already. And Opie's reasoning for not kicking him out yet is because of her nephew. Now, Opie didn't just give us an update. She gave us 6 short updates that I'm going to condense into one read. So let's move on with that to see how this story ends. Update. I've been reading through the comments during my work break and I keep seeing the same things being tossed around. Even the comments that were harsh with it are right. Jessica stomped on both mine and my wife's boundaries using her son as a cover, and I'm being spineless by letting her stay. I also have to accept that Liam Jr. is not my responsibility. As much as I love him, I can't let his mom use him against me. I talked with my wife on her phone today and we've decided that we're telling them to start seeking alternative housing. We're also going to get a proper eviction draft up. We've decided they have until next Friday at the absolute latest. Thank you for knocking some sense into me. Update 2. We had the talk with them about an hour ago and it went bad fast. My brother was screaming, Jessica was screaming, Liam Jr. was crying because of all the noise, and somehow that's my fault? They yelled for a good 40 minutes about how they had nowhere else to go and they won't be able to stay together if I kick them out. It was hard for me, but my wife helped me with my stress. Some highlights from Jessica's rant include, "You can't have a baby, you'll never know how stressed I am. You didn't lose anything super expensive, why are you acting like this?" And my personal favorite, "If you kick us out, you'll never see me or my son again," along with a healthy bit of cursing. I told them that my wife and I's decision was final, and Jessica locked herself in a room with Liam Jr. My brother tried to apologize, saying that he was just stressed from work and his new baby and Jessica putting pressure on him, but my wife cut him off and told him to imagine how stressed I'd been when my things went missing. He just kind of slumped in his seat, then went and joined Jessica in the room after I denied his pleas to stay again. I heard them arguing for a bit, but only for around 15 minutes. I got a text from Jessica's mother asking what was happening, but it wasn't hostile, so I don't think she has the full story. I'm debating telling her since she's technically not involved yet. I've gotten 3 or 4 similar messages from numbers I don't recognize, so I think Jessica may have told people my number or posted something. Update 3. Jessica and Liam woke me and my wife up by clamoring around about 20-ish minutes ago. They didn't say much while they packed up their stuff, but Jessica did say, "I hope you're happy now. Don't expect to see Liam Jr. anytime soon." I didn't feel good when they left. I felt awful. My stomach was in knots and my chest was burning. I should feel happy, but I don't. All I can do is worry. I just feel useless. I feel like a useless wife, like a useless aunt and sister. I was trying to help and now I might not see my nephew again. I went out of my way and now it feels like I'm being punished. I'm pretty sure they'll try something again, but it's not my concern anymore. My brother left his spare key in the kitchen, but I'm still changing the locks. Jessica texted me that Liam is going to be staying in a motel near his job till they figured something else out and she's going to be stuck with her mother. Her mother lives 4 hours away for reference. You were all right that I needed to have them gone, but I wish I didn't feel so damn bad. My wife has been comforting me as best she can and I appreciate her so much. She's been so supportive and I'm lucky to have her. Thank you all for listening, commenting, etc. It was the extra push I needed to knock my stupid head on straight. Update 4. I was contacted by Jessica's mother, who apologized for her daughter and offered to pay me the value of the items stolen if I let her and Liam Jr. move back in. I told her no, and she was surprisingly kind and accepting of this. The call was very short, but I can only assume Jessica told her mother some sort of watered down version of what happened. I think things are settling down now. I also got a text from my brother, but it only said that he was safe at the motel. Update 5. Me and my wife had decided to send my brother a bill for the items Jessica stole. The exact number is a bit touch and go as we don't know the value of some items. We have added the items we're certain she took that can have a concrete price attached to them. We're going to send it tomorrow and I'll update you on what happens. Final update. Sorry I was away for so long. There was a sudden death in my family. They were someone we dearly cared for and Reddit was the last thing on my mind. I've taken time and I believe an update is in order now that I'm in a better headspace and everything cooled down. Jessica and Liam received the bill. I sent it over text and promptly blocked me. Jessica ranted on Facebook and Instagram about how I'm supposedly separating them on purpose, dragging her name and forcing her into an unsafe home. Her mother's home? All 3 things are untrue obviously, but a few family members did reach out to get details. After that, Jessica posted about Liam Jr. needing a better home to stay in as the place she's currently in isn't baby-proofed. This entire drama was suddenly halted with the death of our family member, but Jessica did recently start vague posting about being separated from her husband for too long, so that might start something. My brother has been radio silenced since blocking me, but that's across all platforms. He was much closer to the relative than I was. Well, P, of course, it sucks that they're gonna keep your nephew away from you, but it was a cost, right? Hopefully at some point that'll be over and you'll get to see him again. Regarding the bill you sent them, I wouldn't hold my breath on getting paid, but of course the silver lining and the positive thing is that they're out of your house and the stress is gone. So on that note, here's wishing you the best. Take care and thanks for sharing. Now let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance and it's by user xfritzy. Guy who flips out over his internet feed gets less. So, a little backstory. I work for an internet provider company as a lead in the internet repair department. This means that I get calls from agents who work there that either need help with a situation because they are stuck and don't know what to do, or when a customer escalates the call asking for a supervisor, manager, or someone above them. My department mainly handles internet issues like being offline, outages, replacing equipment, etc. So the other day was like any other. I'm getting calls from agents needing equipment transferred from one account to another, scheduling a technician for customers who refuse to do any troubleshooting. The list goes on and on. One of my main calls is an agent asking for me to run a special tool that corrects the speed being sent to a customer. This usually happens when a customer upgrades or downgrades their internet speed and it doesn't take right away, and this only takes a couple of minutes. This comes in later. On this particular day, I get a call from an agent that says her customer wants to speak to a supervisor because he is not getting the speed he pays for. This happens quite a lot, usually because most people don't understand how the internet works and all the factors that come into the result of a speed test. This can include a lot of things, like how far away you are from your router, if you are testing on Wi-Fi or directly connected, how many devices you are currently using, and even things like how your residence is built because stone and concrete do not allow Wi-Fi signals to travel through. When I looked at the customer's account, I see that he is currently subscribed to 100 megabits per second. Our normal plans are 300, 500, and a gig, which is 1,000. I asked the agent what results he was getting, and she told me it was 437 megabits per second, which is way over what he is paying for. I told the agent to go ahead and transfer him to me, and I'll continue the discussion. Once the customer gets to me, we'll call him Darren, I introduce myself and ask how I can help. Darren immediately begins yelling and cursing at me about he is not getting what he pays for and is extremely upset, and even demanding credit to his account because of this. I begin to try and apologize to Darren and explain that speed test results can vary based on certain conditions. He cuts me off and states that he is recording the call and will be posting everything I say on social media. I tell him that that is fine, as all our calls are recorded for quality assurance purposes as well, and everything will be documented. Darren then proceeds to continue cursing, stating that this is unacceptable and I should be ashamed of myself for working for a company that does not provide the product people are paying for. While he rants on and on, I noticed that he had recently changed his internet plan from 500 to 100 megabits per second 2 days ago. Now, as I mentioned before, sometimes the internet changes don't happen right away and we have to run a specific tool to fix it. This can happen when the modem has not been reset to reflect these changes. I try to tell Darren that he is receiving more than what he is paying for, and again he cuts me off stating that he will be reporting us to the FCC, BBB, and filing a lawsuit about this, all while recording our conversation. Now, normally I wouldn't care and I'd allow the speed to continue going through until the system automatically fixes it. But his attitude and rude demeanor made me feel otherwise. Cue the malicious compliance. I responded to Darren saying, "Sir, you are absolutely right and I am so sorry you are not receiving the speeds you are paying for. I will get this fixed right away." The plan that Darren was on, the 100 speed, is a plan that only certain customers can get if they are financially unable to make normal payments, meaning he had to apply for this program and be approved based on his low income. So I run the fix tool on his internet and reduced the speed down to 100 as he requested. I then asked him how his speed results are now. Darren then responds, "It's even worse than it was before. What kind of trick are you trying to pull on me?" I responded, "Sir, you told me you were not getting the speeds you were paying for, and you were right. You recently applied for financial assistance to be downgraded to 100, and I fixed that for you. It was absolutely wrong of us to be sending you 500 when you were only paying for 100. I apologize for the inconvenience." After a few minutes of silence, Darren then muffled to himself, "This is ridiculous," and proceeded to disconnect the call. I left notes on his account so any future agent would know what had happened that day and that he was not entitled to any credit on his bill. All I can say is, be careful what you complain about. Well, OP, in short, I guess he found out. Thanks for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out, so here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later, and also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.